Hello, my name is Ryan Dewey, and this is how to make virtual presentations interesting. Have you ever found yourself struggling to stay focused during a virtual presentation? Or worse, have you ever been the presenter and noticed your audience looking bored or disengaged? If so, you are not alone. With the rise in presenting virtually, keeping people engaged during presentations has become more challenging than ever. But in this presentation, we will explore some creative and effective strategies for making virtual presentations interesting. Let's get started. If you were like me, you know there are many things we must present virtually in college. I don't know about you, but I would rather not bore my audience to death. Well, in order to help myself, I've researched a little about how to make a virtual presentation interesting. Today, I'm going to discuss 3 easy ways to improve your presentations and make them more interesting. By using various visual aids and designs, engaging your audience, and understanding your audience, you are sure to get a big round of applause on that next virtual presentation. The first idea I will discuss is visual aids and designs. Visual aids are the things you can look at that help you understand something or to remember information. Using various visual aids and designs grabs the audience's attention and keeps it. Humans are known to be naturally curious, but also have a short attention span. When listening to a presentation, audience interest peaks up until about 10 minutes of listening. This attention will drop depending on the content the speaker is presenting. Adding visual sparks interest when the brain is feeling fatigued, allowing the audience to give you more attention. Visuals are also known to help make complex ideas easier to understand. Adding visuals has also been proven to keep the audience more engaged, and research has shown that 67% of audience members were more interested by content of a verbal presentation with visuals versus only 50% with a verbal-only presentation. Now that you have learned about visual aids and designs, let's look at how to engage your audience. There are several techniques for keeping your audience engaged that we are going to discuss. The first one I would like to discuss is to tell a joke. A joke can help a lot because it either asks the audience to answer a question or it can inflict laughter. Both are good because you are creating a connection with the audience. Make sure you don't tell a bad joke though, because you can also lose your audience. The next thing I would suggest is to ask a series of raise your hand if questions. A recent study on attention span actually showed that the first lapses in listener attention tend to happen within the first minute of the talk. So by asking a question like this right away, you can spark an interaction and establish an immediate connection. The third thing I would suggest is to use a polling tool. Polls are excellent to interact with audience members. They allow people to think critically about what they have heard, and it allows them to share their own opinion. If you use all these techniques, it allows you to create a connection with your audience, which leads them to become more interested in your presentation. That leads us to the last idea I am going to talk about today, which is understanding your audience. The first question you should ask before doing your presentation is, who is your audience? You should learn who will be attending, their background, their age, gender, their education, and any other characteristics you feel that are important. Most audiences usually share some sort of commonalities. So try to find those and make sure your presentation correlates to what your audience would be interested in. You should also find their familiarity with your topic. Determine if it's common knowledge to them or if you are going to need to explain more so they will fully grasp what you were trying to say. So in conclusion, creating an interesting presentation is a lot easier said than done. However, I've found various ways to make your presentations a lot more engaging. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to see your audience paying attention and enjoying your presentation rather than looking like they are falling asleep? Knowing how to present an interesting presentation is a great tool people should learn, and I hope that you will use these 3 techniques to help create an awesome presentation. And these are my 4 works cited. Thank you for listening.